Dave Wagner is the opponent here for Bret Hart. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to mention this is 89. We've mostly been seeing the Hart Foundation and tag team action, but we're trying Bret as a singles here, which we did here, there, and yon. We know he's going to become the man at SummerSlam 1991 when he wins the Intercontinental title from that man, Mr. Perfect, who's doing a cut in. But you can clearly see that Vince is planning on moving Bret up the cards here. He's going to make short work of Dave Wagner here. This is also from that Des Moines show. The referee is Danny Davis. But did you see in this era, 1989, could you see that Bret was going to be one of the top guys? Or did you think, hey, he's a nice tag team guy, maybe they'll give him a nice intercontinental run? Or could you have seen him as a world champion here?
No, I couldn't have. And it's because I think because Hulk Hogan, and this of course was kind of getting near the end of the end of Hulkamania, right? This era, but Hulk Hogan was this bigger than life personality that I thought anybody that who was going to be a star would have to be a bigger than life personality like Hulk Hogan, and Bret Hart wasn't.
Right.
Great wrestler, one of the greatest ever of all time, no question. But did he have the over the top personality of Hulk Hogan? No, he didn't. And I thought anybody who would ever take that spot would have that. And that's what they attempted to do with the Ultimate Warrior, which I guess flopped.
Yeah, it didn't do super big business, that's for sure. But we know that, Bret Hart is going to become, oh man, look at the way they did that too. Hitman is 2 words, not 1 word.
Yeah. How about that?
The evolution here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so cool to see, Bret before he was the big star that we know he's going to go on to be there.
Yeah.
Because, I think about that all the time. Like we've got so many great talent that we get to see week in, week out with AEW because it feels like Tony is letting someone make their national television debut every week. I mean, just this past week we saw, the new Dynamite Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And to think, of just the legacy and the heritage and then what could be with some of these young talent. It's neat to go back and take a look 35 years ago because nobody would have guessed, hey, Bret's going to be one of the top guys and one of the greatest wrestlers that ever lived. You wouldn't have guessed that from that match with Dave Wagner, but there it was.
Yeah. And not only that, and if you watched the show on Saturday, our doubleheader, you heard what Nigel said about how AEW goes out and lets these kids who have made a name for themselves on the independent circuit come in and give it a shot on national TV,
Yeah.
and and I think that's one of the things that Tony does very, very well. So here's Bad News Brown, which was also Bad News Allen, right?
Yes.
Okay, and of course was the mentor of Jericho and Don Callis, a Canadian, and no longer is with us. And I always liked the way he presented his business. I mean, just like a badass motherfucker, right?
Yes.
I had the glove on the right hand, always had that scowl on his face.
He looks like a movie bad guy.
Yes, he does. Very well said. Very well said.
That guy felt like a damn tree. Timber. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you'd like for us to watch in the coming weeks here on What Happened When. We're always soliciting feedback, and one of the places to do that is over on our YouTube page. If you haven't already, check out our community page. Be sure to comment in the comments. We're monitoring those, and
My God.
you never know when we're going to go live because that is our intent. We're going to start going live on YouTube, and it's totally free. So go hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell at whwmonday.com. That's whwmonday.com. And we want to hear from you. I love watching old school WWF from 35 years ago, but maybe you want us to watch something kind of silly or
Right.
something you attended, whatever it may be. Make those recommendations, and we'll keep them coming.
Okay, Dave Silva, put that graphic back up.
You don't
Would
like
you
that
please?
graphic?
Yeah. Okay. On the left, that's me taking a shit
Oh, with your jacket on.
with my jacket on. On the right, that's me saying, "Ooh, look at the size of that turd."
Okay. And what's the guy in the middle doing?
That's the turd.
That looks like, I mean, you look like a character from Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the
Yeah,
middle of
I
that.
sure do. God, that's so baby face. Holy shit.
The ultimate baby face.
Mm. Thank you, Dave. Dave
Yeah,
makes those graphics. I don't know where he came up with that stuff. Oh God. I
he
sent Dave a bunch of one time, just
different faces.
different faces. Yeah.
He asked me to do that too, and I guess we've spent enough time doing live shows together, he can just rip them off now,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was like, "What do you mean a bunch of different faces?"
Yeah.
So, I took a stab at it, but it was silly and it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a green screen here. I probably should send him some more.
Hey, we haven't mentioned this on the show, but, your boy Dave Silva, he's moving back to Texas at the end of the month. How
I,
about that?
I heard that you know, apparently Jeff Jones keeps up with you guys a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Jeff Jones told me that, and I went, "What? You moving
Yeah.
back to this? Is he moving back to the same house, same town?"
No, he when they moved to Alabama, they were leaving sort of his family in his neck of the woods in Harlingen, but they're moving now to be right across the street from his in-laws. So his wife, Heather, her family lives right across the street, her parents. And I
Mm,
guess her mom is, having some health challenges and needs a little
okay.
help, and his kids didn't get to spend a lot of time with that set of grandparents. So here's a golden opportunity, help mom out a little bit, let the kids spend a little more time with that set of grandparents because the house right across the street became available. So at the end of the school year, they're gonna hook it up because as you know, Tony, we don't have to be in the same town in order to do what we're doing right here. Like, he can produce us. He's not in my house. He's in his house, and he can be in his house in South Huntsville or San Antonio and
Mhm.
still do this with us each and every week. So
Well, yeah. Well, and to just add on to that, we have meetings all the time at AEW, and we're in our own home.
virtual, yeah.
Yeah, everything's virtual now. That's the way the world is coming to it. I even heard again yesterday I was listening to Sirius 70s on 7, and the um, they were talking about how Kiss is going to have a virtual tour now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's going to you go out to see Kiss, but it's going to be artificial intelligence doing Kiss.
Okay.
Why would you pay to go see that?
I'm not going to.
No, that's the stupidest thing ever. But it just goes to show how virtual things are. Hey, this guy that just did the flop,
Yeah.
uh, uh, let's see if we can do a screen capture him because damn if this isn't Paulie dangerously.
You think so? You
I
think
mean,
that's Jim Merkel or Kevin Michelson?
I think it's Kevin Michelson, isn't it? But you're not going to see his face now. But man, when they were announcing the guys earlier, and he turned and he was jawing with the guys, I'm thinking, damn, that's a very skinny Paul Heyman.